中国奉献之仗。我就用这个Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're continuing the narration of the Bhagavatamrta. We're hearing about a cowherd boy from Govardhan named Kumar and how he's traveling to different places by the power of a wonderful mantra given to him by his guru.
我们今天继续来领大佛教海滩甘露。我记述的是来自噶尔丹山的一个从哥帕库马尔的旅程。他的 guru 给了他一首 mantra， 他念诵着 mantra 旅行到了不同的地方。
So Gopkumar, by the power of this mantra, he was able to go to the heavenly planets, and when he was in the heavenly planets, he was given the position of Indra, the king of heaven.
他唱诵这首 mantra 就去了天堂，他后来被授予了 Indra 的地位。
But he was not satisfied there. He didn't find the great pleasure which he expected he would get.
但是他在天堂还是不满足，并没有得到他想要的快乐。
And he saw also how the demigods were envious of each other sometimes, and sometimes there would be disagreements.
他看到天堂的半神人们，有的时候呢会彼此争吵，有不同的意见。
And then it happened that some great sages came from the higher planets, and Gopkumar became curious to know about these higher planets.
这时候就从更高的星球来了一些伟大的圣者们，哥帕库马尔就对这个更高的星球呢感兴趣了。
So above the heavenly planets, there are 4 planets in the universe.
在天堂之上呢，还有4个宇宙中的更高的星系。
So Gopkumar began to think about this higher planet, and by the power of the mantra, he immediately went there, and he found himself on a planet called Mahaloka.
所以哥帕库马尔呢就想着这些高等星系，然后他发现他们念了 mantra 之后，就置身在马哈洛卡上。
So in Mahaloka, he found all the great sages there were engaged in sacrifice, and they were all they were surrounded by great opulence, and they had everything material desire you could desire materially.
哥帕库马尔发现，在马哈洛卡上，这些伟大的圣者们都在举行祭祀，那里有巨大的物质财富。
So the sages there on Mahaloka, they would perform sacrifices for the pleasure of the Lord, and then when they were making the sacrifice, from the fire of the sacrifice, the Lord would appear and accept their offerings.
这些圣者们就为满足主，就举行了盛大的祭祀，就从祭祀的火焰当中，主亲自就显现出来了。
But Gopkumar experienced that at the start of the sacrifice, when the Lord would appear, they'd feel very happy.
但当主显现的时候，哥帕库马尔就觉得特别的开心。
But at the end of the sacrifice, the Lord would disappear, and then they would feel great unhappiness.
但一旦主消失之后呢，哥帕库马尔就觉得特别的不开心。
So by the end of the sacrifice, the Lord of the sacrifice, the Lord would disappear. But because he was controlled by the devotees, he would not be invisible for long.
在祭祀结束之后，至尊主就消失得无影无踪了。 但是因为他被他奉献者控制着，所以他消失的时间不会很长。
But that little fraction of feeling of unhappiness, that unhappiness which came in the mind of Gopkumar, that became the seed of desire to find an even better place than this Maharloka.
就是因为他心里的这一点点的不快乐，就种下了种子，还为他日后寻找更多的快乐种下了种子。
So Gopkumar was there on this higher planet, and one day was 1,000 cycles of the 4 ages.
在高等星系，一天就是1000个年代之河的循环。
So, in the course of time, he was forced to go to another planet called Janaloka, which is above Maharloka.
那么到了一定时间，他就被迫要移居到更高的名叫 Janaloka 上面。
The Maharloka it stays it's in existence for the same duration of time as the planet of Lord Brahma.
Maharloka 上面的寿命，它的存续期是 Brahma 的一天。
But Maharloka is near to the heavenly planets.
但是 Maharloka 它靠近天堂。
And the heavenly planets, they experience the heat which comes at the time of the annihilation, when the lower part of the universe is annihilated. The fire which destroys the lower planets creates a heat which is felt even in the heavenly planets.
当宇宙毁灭的时候，就从低等的星系，从宇宙的下部就有火焰往上升。在天堂的居民能感受到这个火焰的灼热。
So in order to escape from that intense heat coming from the fire of the planets in the lower part of the universe, the inhabitants of Maharloka, they would go to the next higher planet. They'd go up to Janaloka.
为了避免受到来自宇宙低等区域火焰的灼烧，马哈洛卡上的居民就会到詹那洛卡上去避难。
Now on Maharloka, the sages were always performing sacrifices there. Everywhere Gopkumar went, every home, they were doing some sacrifice. They're doing a yagya.
马哈洛卡上面的人们，每一天他们在家家户户都会举行yagya火祭。
But on Janaloka, it was like it was like nighttime, because no sacrifices were being performed.
在马哈洛卡上就好像黑夜，因为那里不举行献祭。
And then in addition to that, Gopkumar was feeling the pain of not being able to see the Lord of sacrifice.
除此之外，因为见不到祭祀之主，狗帕库马尔也感受到了分离之苦。
So that pain of not being able to see the Lord was even greater than the pain of the heat from the lower planets.
这种分离之苦，甚至要比因为
No, there's no actual night in Janaloka.
在詹那洛卡上没有黑夜。
Janaloka is self-effulgent. That means it's always in the light of the sun. It's always daytime.
因为詹那洛卡上它是自明的，它总是是白天，总在阳光下。
But Lord Brahma sometimes goes to sleep, and when he goes to sleep, he goes to sleep along with Lord Garbhodakashayi Vishnu.
主 Brahma 有时候就会和 Garbhodakashayi Vishnu 一起就进入到睡眠当中。
And at that time, the lower planets, they merge into the ocean at the bottom of the universe.
在此时呢，低等的星球就会进入到宇宙底部的这毁灭之水中。
So that means there's no more sacrifices, and all the ordinary activities also come to an end.
这时候就不再有祭祀，所有的活动都戛然而止。
So when they're not doing any more sacrifice, then the Lord of Sacrifice, Lord Vishnu, doesn't appear anymore there.
因为没有献祭，祭祀之主也不再显现。
So that's very painful for Gopkumar. Gopkumar is very attached to seeing the Lord and being with him.
勾帕库马尔十分依附于见到主和主一起，因此他觉得这种痛苦难以忍受。
So at that time Gopkumar was thinking it's better to go and see Lord Jagannath, because before he'd been in Jagannath Puri and he'd been able to see Lord Jagannath every day.
勾帕库马尔这时候就会思念扎格纳的普瑞，想去见主扎格纳特。
Lord Jagannath's home is Jagannath Puri, and it's protected by the shade of a big banyan tree.
主扎格纳的家园在扎格纳普瑞，它被一棵巨大的榕树的树荫所庇护。
And even when the sky and the heaven and earth are all destroyed, Jagannath Puri remains untouched.
即便天堂、地球遭到毁灭，扎格纳普瑞也丝毫不受打扰。
So Gopkumar returned to Maharloka, and he chanted his japa in meditation.
勾帕库马尔于是便返回马哈洛卡，他唱诵着他的扎帕，他冥想着。
And when he did his chanting, then he felt very sad, and he awakened the desire that he could again be in Vrindavan.
一旦他唱诵扎帕，他感到非常难过，他又再次渴望稳达文。
So Gopkumar always thinks of Vrindavan as this land, the place in which he's from.
他思念的这稳达文是我们这个星球上的他的家乡稳达文。
And Gopkumar is also, he's narrating this story. He's telling to a Brahmana who's in Vrindavan.
勾帕库马尔也在向稳达文的一位婆罗门讲述着他的故事。
So Gopkumar's separation from Lord Vishnu didn't last for a very long time. It was only a short time.
勾帕库马尔和威什努的分离并没有持续很久，只是很短时间。
But he was always remembering Vrindavan, and that was more serious. That had a greater effect on him than any of the happiness he had in the in the higher planets.
但是他恒常的思念着稳达文，这就对他的影响比他在天堂所得到的快乐要对他影响更大。
Sometimes he could forget the desire to go to Jagannath Puri, but he could not give up his attraction for Vrindavan. That was even greater than his attraction for Jagannath Puri.
有时候他对主稳达文的思念要胜过他对扎格纳普瑞的思念。有的时候他可以放弃对扎格纳普瑞的渴求，但却不能放弃稳达文。
But then Lord Vishnu would again appear. The object, because the sacrifice would be performed. And so he would appear and he would call Gopkumar, and he would eat whatever Gopkumar had brought for offering to him.
一旦人们再次举行祭祀，主 Vishnu 又会再次显现，他会召唤 Gopakumar 吃掉他的供奉。
And Gopkumar, seeing Lord Vishnu, then he would forget all of his distress, just like the sun drives away darkness.
见到 Vishnu 就会驱散他内心的悲伤，就像日出会驱散黑暗。
So Gopkumar was so attached to the Lord that he wouldn't go anywhere else. Even at night, he just simply remained there. He wanted to be where the Lord appeared.
Gopakumar 非常依恋主，即便是在夜间，他也想要和主在一起。
So he knew in the night he's not going to see the Lord. They're not doing the yagya in the night. But Gopkumar was so absorbed that the thought of the Lord that he forgot the pain of being separate from him during the night.
因为夜间没有祭祀，所以主就不会显现。但是，
Go ahead.
但是 Gopakumar 他因为对主的思念，他一直还在思念着主。
So during the daytime, he wouldn't think to go anywhere else. He would just stay at that place where they're doing the sacrifice.
在日间 ，Gopakumar 哪儿也不去，只待在举行祭祀的地方。
And because there he's able to see Lord Vishnu, and they're worshipping him, and they're obtaining his mercy.
因为他就在那里可以见到主 Vishnu， 因为人们在崇拜着 Vishnu。
So even during the night of Brahma, Gopkumar's he wanted to enjoy this sight, this worship, and this mercy.
即便是在 Brahma 的黑夜 ，Gopakumar 仍然希望享受着看见主、崇拜主带来的欢乐。
So this Gopkumar had this desire constantly.
Gopakumar 内心恒常有这种愿望。
So it happened that while he was there at Mahaloka, someone arrived from a higher planet.
有一天，当 Gopakumar 在 Mahaloka 上，来自有一些人来自更高的星球来了。
And his form was he was effulgent, it was glowing with light.
他浑身散发着光灿，他熠熠生辉。
And at the same time, he appeared to be naked.
但是，同时呢，他看上去像是赤身裸体的。
He appeared to be just a 5 or 6-year-old boy.
他看似是6、7岁的小男孩。
So the people of Mahaloka, they often travel to this other planet, Janaloka.
马哈洛卡上面的人们经常旅行到詹纳洛卡。
The two planets are very close to each other.
这两个星球很近，
But there's one difference between them.
但是他们却有一个区别。
On Janaloka, the fire of annihilation from below, the fire which comes from below is far enough away that there's no need to go anywhere else.
这个区别就是在詹纳洛卡上面，毁灭之火的灼热，非常的遥远，所以他们没有必要再迁移到更高的地方。
Mahaloka, that's not far enough away. And on Mahaloka, they feel the heat. And that's when they go to Janaloka.
在马哈洛卡上的距离还不够遥远，他们还能感受到灼热，因此他们要去詹纳洛卡。
So Gopkumar, he knew about this. He'd experienced this.
Gopakumar 很清楚，因为他有切身的体验。
So the next world for him to see, because Gopkumar wants to see everything in the universe. So the next world, the next place which he wanted to see was Tapaloka.
因为沟哈库马尔想要去体验所有的世界，他下一个目的地是塔帕洛卡。
So now he's going to hear about Tapaloka, because this person, this 5 or 6-year-old boy who is not dressed, not body is not covered in any clothing, is just naked, he's come from Tapaloka.
接下来他就会聆听到塔帕洛卡，因为这位6、7岁的赤身裸体的小男孩将要讲述塔帕洛卡。
So Gopkumar, he'd never heard the Tapaloka. So he just saw this boy, the young boy, and he was told he's from a higher planet.
沟帕库马尔从来没听说过塔帕洛卡，他只是知道这个小男孩是来自更高的星系。
So it's normal for little children, 5-year-old children, it's not unnatural for them to go naked.
对于5岁的大的小男孩子，赤身裸体呢是很自然，再自然不过的了。
So there was nothing so much unusual in this, seeing a little child naked.
所以看见一个小男孩赤身裸体不穿衣服，这是再自然不过的。
But we have to understand who is this little child.
但是我们要明白这个小孩子是谁。
So when this little boy appeared, all the great sages, they put aside all of the implements, all the things which they were doing the rituals with, and they stood up with devotion and they bowed down to this boy.
当所有圣者们一见到这位小男孩，他们就放下手中的事情，马上起立，又向这位小男孩顶拜。
And they were worshipping this little boy like he was the Lord of like he was Lord Vishnu himself.
他们崇拜这位小男孩，就好像这小男孩是威什努本人。
But this little child just remained undisturbed. He was in meditation.
但是这小男孩丝毫不受打扰，他总在冥想中。
But the great sages, they were led by Bhrigu Muni. Bhrigu Muni was one of the sons of Brahma, and they were all respecting this little boy.
以 Bhrigu Muni 为首的圣人们都毕恭毕敬地顶拜这位小男孩。
So Gopkumar was very puzzled to see all of this. Who is this little boy, and what's this higher place which he's come from?
戈帕库马尔对这个小男孩感到非常的好奇，这个小男孩到底来自哪里？
So the little boy didn't stay there long. He just came there, and after some time he went away. So when he left, then Gopkumar asked the great sages, he asked them, who was that boy and where did he come from?
这个小男孩在这个地方并没有停留很长时间，戈帕库马尔便纳闷地问这些圣人们，他到底是谁？他来这里有何贵干？
And why is it great souls like you great sages, why you are worshipping him?
像你们这些大圣者，为何要崇拜他？
So this little boy was so special that there was no force which could stop him from going wherever he wanted.
这个小男孩非常特殊，没有任何力量能阻止他到各个地方去。
So he came there on Mahaloka suddenly, and he left there just as suddenly.
他突然之间就到访了这个星球马哈洛卡，但突然之间他又消失得无影无踪。
So Gopkumar was very puzzled to see all this.
看到这一切呢，戈帕库马尔感到非常的惊讶。
Because he saw the great sages on Mahaloka, that they were being worshipped by the demigods.
因为他目睹到马哈洛卡上面的圣者们受到全体半神的崇拜。
And the sages were worshipping Lord Vishnu in person.
这些圣者们是在亲自的崇拜着 Vishnu。
So how is it this other little boy could command so much respect from the sages?
那为什么这个小男孩又受到圣哲们如此毕恭毕敬的对待呢？
And they even stopped their sacrifice in order to honor him.
为了荣耀他，他们甚至停下了手中的祭祀。
So the sages have to reply to Gopkumar's questions.
圣哲们便开始回答哥巴库玛尔的询问。
So they said that person is Sanat Kumar, and he's the eldest amongst all of us, and he is the greatest.
他们说他的名字叫 Sanat Kumar， 他是我们当中的所有圣人当中最年长的圣人。
And he's the first teacher of all the great sages.
他是所有圣哲的第一位原初的老师。
And he's a lifetime celibate.
他是终生的真守生。
And his desires are always fulfilled.
他的心愿总能实现。
So the residents, the most important residents on Maharloka are sons of Brahma.
在马哈洛卡上面的最重要居民是Brahma 的儿子，
People like Bhrigu Muni.
比如说像 Bhrigu Muni。
And so Sanat Kumar, he is their brother, and he's the eldest of Lord Brahma's sons.
而 Sanat Kumar 是这些Brahma 儿子的哥哥，而且他是长子。
And he's better than the other sages.
他比别的都优秀。
And he's different from them because he never entered family life.
他之所以与众不同，是因为他从来没有进入到婚姻生活。
Even though his father, Lord Brahma, had requested him, he never did it.
即便他的父亲主 Brahma 要求他，他也从没有进入婚姻。
So this was the answer to the first question asked by Gopkumar. He had asked who was he, so now he knows who was he.
这便是对哥帕库马尔第一个询问，他到底是谁的答案。
And then we're told he lives in the world above our world, above Maharloka. He's in the higher planet, above Maharloka. He's in a place called Tapaloka.
那么接着他们又对他说，他居住在我们这个星系之上的塔帕洛卡。
And he lives there with 3 brothers and with other great yogis who, like him, are masters of yoga.
他和他的其他3个兄弟一起就居住在这个星球上，那个星球上的居民都是伟大的瑜伽师。
So Gopkumar had asked, like, where did he come from? So this was replied here in this question.
哥帕库马尔问的第二问题是，他来自何方？这便是答案。
And he's not the only one like him, but there are 3 brothers who are just like him, just as great as he is.
所以他不是只身一人，他还有其他的3个兄弟都跟他一样。
Yeah, you have he was Sanat Kumar, and the 3 brothers, one is Sanaka, one is Sanandan, and one is Sanatan.
其他3个兄弟是 Sanaka、Sananda、Sanatana。
Good. So these 4 brothers live on Tapaloka with the other great yogis.
这库马尔4兄弟就和其他的伟大瑜伽师居住在塔帕罗卡。
People like Kavi and Havi and Antariksha.
Kavi、Havi、Antariksha、
Prabhuda
Pabuda、
and Pipalayana.
Pipalayana，
These are all great mystics who live up there on Tapaloka.
这些就是居住在塔帕罗卡上的伟大玄秘瑜伽师。
So to go there, you have to be strictly celibate, fully celibate.
只有全然真守的人才可以晋升到这个星球。
So the people who live there, their semen always flows upwards.
居住在上面的人们，他们的精液总是往上提升的。
So they feel constant peace and happiness, millions of times greater than what's enjoyed by other people in the universe.
他们感到他们感受到的快乐平和，他们感到的快乐要比其他地方的人们的快乐要高上百万倍。
So the four Kumaras and the other people there on that planet, they've made the vow of lifelong celibacy.
库马尔斯兄弟和其他的玄秘瑜伽师，他们都发誓要终生的遵守。
So some people, they observe celibacy after enjoying. First they take part in sexual relationships, but then after some time, then they give it up and then they practice celibacy.
有些人是先享受性快乐，之后他们才放弃变得真守。
And they practice brahmacharya.
他们修习 Brahmacharya 真守生活。
And then they enter into. Some people will practice brahmacharya and then they will enter into married life.
有些人呢反过来，他们先真守，然后再结婚。
So some people, they practice brahmacharya their whole life, they never marry.
而有的人他们是从始至终终生的都在真守。
So both kinds of celibacy are very good.
这两种真守都很好。
But it's only a very rare person who is very determined, who can give up all sex for the entire life.
只有那些非常有决心的人们才可以下决心，终生的一辈子都放弃性生活。
So these are the people who get to go to Tapaloka.
只有这些人这些人是能够去 Tapaloka 上的。
So in Tapaloka, everything is auspicious there. There's no trouble from the heat of the time of annihilation.
在 Tapaloka 上一切是吉祥的，那里不会有来自就低等星系的灼烧带来的麻烦。
And the people who live there, they don't need to go to a higher planet.
居住在上面的人们用不着去更高的星系。
So when the three worlds at the bottom of the universe, the three worlds, three planetary systems in the bottom of the universe, when they are destroyed, the people in Tapaloka don't even notice it.
所以当宇宙的低等的3个星系被毁灭的时候， Tapaloka 上的人们甚至都没有注意到。
So the yogis who are living on Tapaloka, they enjoy undisturbed peace and satisfaction.
在 Tapaloka 上面的瑜伽师，他们感受到的快乐和满足是不受到打扰的。
So this is being described here by the great sages. The sages on Mahaloka, they're saying that especially for householders like us, these people from the Tapaloka, they're worthy of our worship.
于是马哈洛卡上面的圣者们就这样说对于我们这样的居士，来自塔巴洛克上面的这些玄秘瑜伽师值得我们崇拜。
Just like we worship Lord Vishnu, who is the Lord of sacrifice, these people are also worthy of our worship because they've given up all material duties.
正像主威什努是我们献祭的对象，值得我们崇拜。同样，这些伟大的玄秘瑜伽师，他们也同样值得我们的崇拜。
So in this way, the sages answer Gopkumar's question about why they worshipped him.
就这样，圣者们就回答 Gopa Kumar 的问题，为什么要崇拜他呢？
So Sanat Kumara is honored throughout the universe because he's a representative of the Supreme Lord.
Sanat Kumar 在全宇宙上下都受到荣耀，因为他代表至尊主。
And he's considered an incarnation of the Lord.
他也被视为是至尊主的化身。
And he's a very prominent Vaishnava devotee.
他是一位非常突出的 Vaishnava 奉献者。
So the people in Mahaloka, they gave great respect to him because he was their very special guest, and he's a very strict brahmachari.
马哈洛卡上的人们对他尤其尊敬有加，因为他是一位贵客，而且又是终生的真守生。
So if somebody can observe strict celibacy, then he's considered superior, he's considered better than those of grihastas.
倘若谁要是严格的真守生，就被视为是要比居士 grihasta 要更高等。
But we should also understand that these sages who live on Mahaloka, that they're not ordinary householders.
但是要明白，居住在马哈洛卡上的圣者们不是普通的居士。
They have very little attachment to home or property or other material things.
他们对家庭，对其他的财产只有很少的依附。
So Gopkumar heard their replies, and then he said to them, Gopkumar says, I wondered what kind of planet, what kind of happiness do they enjoy on this place, Tapaloka?
当Gopa Kumar 听完这番回答，他再次询问说，在 Tapaloka 上面，他们享受的是什么样的快乐？何种快乐呢？
And are there any more like this Sanat Kumar, like this boy? Are there others like him?
其他人是跟这个 Sanat Kumar 这个小男孩都一样吗？
And what kind of Lord do they worship?
他们崇拜的是什么样的主？
So Gopkumar had heard the sages answer his first questions.
Gopa Kumar 听到了圣者们对他第一个问题的回答。
So this way Gopkumar is getting inspired to go to Tapaloka.
Gopa Kumar 这样就被激励着想去 Tapaloka。
Actually, Gopkumar's main interest, he wants to see the Lord of the universe. He wants to see Lord Vishnu.
Gopa Kumar 首要的兴趣就是见到宇宙之主 Vishnu。
But still, he thought it's important to go there to Tapaloka.
但是他仍然认为去 Tapaloka 也很重要。
And his thinking, Gopkumar's thinking is that if this person, the Sanat Kumar, and the others on the planet like him, if they have opulences like those of God, then what form of God are they worshipping? It must be even more wonderful and opulent than they are.
Gopa Kumar 的想法就是，像这 Tapaloka 上面的人，像Sanat Kumar 这样的人，倘若他们的形体呢，就跟神一样，那么他们所崇拜的主，肯定一定要比他们本身要更加奇妙。
So Gopkumar was eager to see the situation there on Tapaloka.
Gopa Kumar 便渴望见到 Tapaloka 上面的处
He
境，
wanted to see all these people.
他想见到这些人，
So he chanted his mantra very carefully.
他很小心地念诵他的 mantra，
And quickly he traveled to Tapaloka.
他迅速旅行到了塔帕洛卡。
Gopkumar, he wanted to go there to see Sanat Kumar and to see his brothers.
戈帕库马尔渴望目睹萨那的库马尔及其兄弟。
And he also wanted to see the Lord whom they are worshipping.
他也想目睹这些人崇拜的主。
So he focused his mind on that aim.
他就一心一意想着这样的目标。
He turned his attention inward and he imitated Sanat Kumar.
他把注意力转向内在，他模仿萨那的库马尔。
So, because he had seen Sanat Kumar absorbed in deep meditation.
因为他见到萨那的库马尔处在深深的冥想状态。
So Gopkumar is doing also meditation.
戈帕库马尔也开始冥想。
So by the mantra, he was able to get that same power, and he was able to transfer himself to Tapaloka.
藉着 mantra 的力量，他也可以将自己转移到塔帕洛卡。
Who wants to go to Tapaloka?
那你们谁想去塔帕洛卡呢？啊 ？It sounds good.
Okay, so Gopkumar got to Tapaloka and he saw Sanat Kumar and he saw his brothers, Sanaka, Sanandan and Sanatan.
戈帕库马尔就旅行到了塔帕洛卡，他于是见到了四兄弟：Sanaka、Sanatan、Sanatan。Sanat Kumar.
Yeah, he saw all the residents, all the other people in Tapaloka, they all appeared similar to the Kumars. They looked like the 4 Kumars.
塔帕洛克上其他的居民样貌，都长得貌似库马尔四兄弟。
And they were honoring the 4 brothers.
他们仍然在尊敬这四兄弟。
And the 4 Kumaras, they were engaged, they were enjoying themselves, having a big discussion. And they were discussing something very complex, which couldn't be understood by persons. Gopkumar said he couldn't understand what they were talking about.
四兄弟津津有味地在讨论着一个深邃的主题。戈帕库马尔他听不懂。
So the people on Tapaloka, they're also worshipable.
塔帕洛卡上面的人们，也是值得崇拜的。
They're like the 4 Kumars. In other words, they're like little children, and they're all naked.
他们都长得像小孩子一样，赤身裸体。
And they're also empowered representatives of Krishna.
他们都是被赋予力量的 Krishna 的代表。
So when Gopkumar first saw them, they were having a big philosophical discussion.
戈帕库马尔第一眼见到他们的时候，他们正在进行深邃的哲学讨论。
These kind of things are discussed in the 10th canto, chapter 87 of the Srimad Bhagavatam.
这些话题是圣典博教坛第10篇第87章的内容。
It's a chapter called Prayers by the Personified Vedas.
第87章的标题是韦达经的人格化身线上祷文。
It's one of the longest chapters in the 10th canto.
是第10篇当中的最长的一章。
If you read the Krishna book, you can see it's a very long chapter.
如果你们看 Krishna 快乐全言，发现这一章非常长。
So they're discussing there about the nature of the absolute truth.
他们就在上面那里讨论绝对真理的本质。
So Gopkumar, he's just a simple cowherd boy from Govardhan. He didn't have much education, so he couldn't understand much what they were talking about.
Gopa Kumar 因为是来自哥尔丹山的一个简单的牧牛童，所以不懂他们在说什么。
He didn't understand about liberation and devotional service.
他不懂奉献服务和解脱。
So the people in Tapaloka, they didn't have any kind of distinguishing features to show that they were the supreme.
在塔帕洛卡的人们，并没有什么显著的特征表明他们是至尊者。
But Gopkumar says just by seeing the people, especially the brothers in Tapaloka, he felt intense, spontaneous joy.
Gopa Kumar 说到，他只要一见到这些塔帕洛卡上的人们，他就感受到强烈的欢乐。
Now usually Gopkumar only got his happiness when he would see the Supreme Lord.
一般而言，只有在见到至尊主的时候，Gopa Kumar 才在感到快乐。
Like when he would go to Jagannath Puri, he'd see Lord Jagannath.
比如他去扎格纳普瑞见到主扎格纳的时候，
Or when they perform a sacrifice, the Lord would appear from the yagya and accept the offering.
或者是在祭祀场上，当祭祀举行的时候，主显现接受祭祀的时候。
But this time, he's feeling happiness just to see the people like the Kumaras.
但这一次，他一见到像库马尔这样的人们，他就感到快乐。
He feels happiness because he knows the four Kumaras are very intimately connected with the Lord.
他之所以感到快乐，是因为他知道库马尔四兄弟和主有着很亲密的关系。
Even though the Kumaras, they don't have 4 arms, they're not like Lord Vishnu, they just have 2 arm forms.
即便库马尔四兄弟只是有着2臂，不像威什努有4臂。
And they didn't display any of his infinite powers.
他也没有展示出无穷无尽的力量。
But because of the greatness of Tapaloka and seeing Sanat Kumar and his brothers, there was so much happiness for Gopkumar.
但是只因为这个库马尔四兄弟有着很强大的力量，所以Gopa Kumar非常的开心。
Even more happiness than he experienced when he first saw Sanat Kumar on Mahaloka.
甚至要高过他在马哈洛卡上第一眼见到Sanat Kumar的时候。
So because of the place, seeing the person in the right place makes it more glorious. He felt more happiness.
只是因为见到库马尔兄弟在自己的居所，这就更加荣耀了。
So then Gopkumar saw that all these people on Tapaloka, they all went to do they went to their different places to do their meditation.
Gopa Kumar 发现四兄弟都开始进入到冥想。
So Gopkumar he was searching to find out where is the Lord of the universe.
Gopa Kumar 在寻找宇宙之主的下落。
Because when the Kumaras and the great sages had finished their discussion, then they disappeared from that spot and they went back to their place. They each had their own individual place of meditation.
当库马尔四兄弟和圣者们讨论结束之后，他们都回到各自的地方，他们都有各自的居所。
So Gopkumar was just left on his own. So he began to think also about the Lord of the universe.
Gopa Kumar 就孤零零的一个人留在那里，他不禁又思念起宇宙之主。
Because when he was on heavenly planets, he had seen the Lord of the universe. And when he went to Mahaloka also, the Lord would be visible there as well.
因为在天堂，他可以 看见主本人，而在马哈洛卡上，他也可以目睹至尊主。
So he thought, Tapaloka, he must also be here. He must. Where do I find him? I want to see him.
所以他就想在塔帕洛卡上，在哪里能找到至尊主？我想见他。
So Gopkumar was searching, and he began to ask some of the other people where he could find the Lord.
格帕库马尔便开始私下的寻找、打听，到哪里可以找到主。
And so he had no time to ask anything, because at first the four Kumaras, they'd received the worship of the sages.
他没有时间提出发问，因为首先呢，四兄弟受到了崇拜。
And immediately after that, everyone went into trance.
其后呢，每个人都立刻就进入到了神定。
So Gopkumar couldn't find the Lord of the universe. He couldn't see the Supreme Lord anywhere.
格帕库马尔因为看不到至尊主，他到哪里都找不到至尊主。
And he would come before the different people, and he would offer obeisances and prayers to them. And they did not even look at Gopkumar.
格帕库马尔来到每个人的面前，他就向他们顶拜，可这些人连看都不看他一眼。
Everyone there was fixed in samadhi.
每个人那里的每个人都已经进入到萨玛迪神定了。
They were completely self-satisfied.
他们是全然的自我满足的。
And they're fully celibate their whole life.
他们终生都是真守的。
And they have nothing to achieve.
他也没有什么所求，别无所求。
They're not anxious to get any kind of perfection.
他们并不渴求达到任何的完美。
Sometimes the people of Tapaloka may meet together and have a philosophical discussion.
有时候塔巴洛卡上面的人们会聚会来进行哲学上的讨论。
Sometimes they may worship the Supreme Lord.
有时候他们也许崇拜至尊主。
But the rest of the time, they just engage themselves in meditation.
除此之外的其他时间，他们都会忙着在冥想。
Nothing in the world attracts them.
在世上没有任何事物能吸引他们的注意力。
And there's Gopkumar. He's come here to Tapaloka, and his desire is to see the Supreme Lord.
而勾帕库马尔来到这里，他却想要见到至尊主。
But he couldn't find it. He couldn't satisfy this desire.
他的心愿却无法得偿。
And just by being in the company of all the sages, gradually he's losing the desire. His desire to see the Lord is becoming less and less.
只是和这些圣者们在一起，他想要见至尊主的心愿就变得越来越淡了。
Anyway, Gopkumar stayed there for some time. He was attracted by the power of the living entity, the people there.
勾帕库马尔还是待在了那里，他被那里的人们的玄秘力量所吸引。
And he kept on chanting his mantra because he wanted to respect the order of his guru.
他还是继续念诵自己 mantra， 他想要尊敬自己的 guru。
And he knows how powerful the mantra was. It was working for him, so he wanted to keep using it.
他知道这首 mantra 的力量，因为这在他身上显示出来，所以他就想要不断的来运用这首 mantra。
So the atmosphere, just being on Tapaloka, it caused Gopkumar to have less interest in seeing the Lord.
在塔洛克上面的氛围呢，就使得罗帕库玛想要见到至尊主的愿望。
But still, he kept chanting his japa.
他就这种愿望越来越淡了，但他仍然念诵着他的 japa。
His guru had ordered him never stop chanting.
他的 guru 命令他永远不要停止唱诵。
So Gopkumar didn't want to disobey the orders of his guru.
Gopkumar 可不想违背 guru 的命令。
Okay, so we'll stop here today.
今天我们就讲到这里。
Any questions?
有没有问题？
Yes.
我想问一个新人的问题。这个新人呢，他还在吃肉，在念诵呢。念诵呢，他看我们听说这个，我们跟他说，这个安卡达西，也不吃米饭，更不能吃肉。他也想看了我们，他也想吃素。他说他的胃子不吃肉就会胃痛，然后他就记了之后呢，就去输液了，输液了，然后他还是一直在念诵，天天都在念诵。8点半上班，他以前8点半9点上班，8点半才起床，现在念诵4点半5点多就起了，他也很认真，但是每次几个月了都4次，艾克达西他就要去输液，就每次去了就要输液，就他不吃肉，你不吃这个，他问我是怎么，我回答不出来，请教过。
There's a neophyte. He 男的还是女的？男的啊，他以前吃肉，后来不吃了。
还是一直要吃肉，只是艾卡达西不吃，他努力的吃了3天素，吃了就倒了，就去输液了。
This man, he is meat eating. But every Ekadasi Ekadasi 他不吃东西是吧？他吃素还是？
吃素就吃的那个要上班嘛，单位上吃的那个青菜嘛，就炒的青菜，或者吃点花生就不吃嘛。就不搞。
然后 he every Ekadasi he would only eat some vegetable, cooked vegetable and some peanuts and because this new people, he is also chanting his japa, and he's seeing the example of devotees. So he is getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to chant. But because he is very strict in Ekadasi, so he said if he didn't eat meat, he would feel pain in the stomach. But every Ekadasi, he would try to be very strict vegetarian and only eat boiled vegetable and peanut. Then he will go to the hospital to go to the hospital to do some injection, not injection, but some 吊输液 drips, yeah, drips. It's already four times. So he is puzzled why this happened to him.
What happened to him?
He had to go to the hospital to have some drips.
Why it happened to him? Because he's a meat eater.
就是因为他吃肉，
就吃肉嘛。他不吃肉，他去了3天，又去输液去了，没办法。我们不知道怎么回答，叫他不吃。
He for 3 days he didn't eat meat, and then on the 4th day he went into hospital to do drips.
3 days, not enough.
三天戒3天肉还太短，时间不。
戒了3天他就倒了，就输液去了。他也想坚持，他想做不了。
Not eating properly. Not eating.
叫我们问我们怎么办？我们
月亮帕布说，因为他的饮食啊，他的饮食不正确，他的饮食。
Not the right balance.
他的那个饮食结构啊是不平衡的，他不知道怎么正确吃。
Eat more protein,
他应该吃更多的蛋白质，
not meat protein, other protein.
不是肉类的蛋白质，而是来自其他的素食的蛋白质。
Nuts and beans, things like that.
比如说，坚果类啊，还有豆类中提取就是蛋白质。
那我们就是说，还是给他讲，这个艾克达去还是继续记，所以就换过方式
他
吃。
平常也吃肉吗？
他平时也是，因为刚念嘛，我们刚。
他念多长时间了？
可能有2个月嘛。
He has been chanting for 2 months. And he's trying to get up early to do japa and trying to be vegetarian. But the problem is whenever he will try to eat those vegetables and peanuts, he will fall down and has to go to the hospital.
Well, what can we say? People have to be serious. If he wants to practice Krishna consciousness, he has to practice all the principles.
人们要认真，如果想要修习 Krishna 之觉，就要所有的原则都要去遵守。
Just because he observes Ekadasi and he does everything else, all sinful things, all the other days, he's not going to get any benefit from Ekadasi.
他只是在Ekadasi之间是Ekadasi吃素，然后其他的时候呢，他还就该干嘛干嘛，他得不到遵守Ekadasi的好处。
The real purpose of Ekadasi is to increase hearing and chanting.
遵守Ekadasi真正的原则是要增加聆听和唱诵。
他也在唱。
We're not training people in fasting.
我们不是在训练人们怎么戒食。
We're educating people to hear and chant about Krishna conscious, about Krishna's topics.
我们在训练人们要去聆听唱诵有关 Krishna 的话题。
So somebody's observing Ekadasi and eating meat all the rest of the month, it's useless.
只是在Ekadasi之前吃素，然后1个月其他的时间全吃肉，那也没有用。
他不吃肉，不吃肉的话，他胃就会痛。我说罪孽太深，可能是。
He said he will feel the stomach is uncomfortable if he didn't eat meat.
Tell him the animals he's killed also felt uncomfortable.
那你就跟他说，那些被屠宰的动物，它们也会胃疼，也不舒服。
Doesn't he have any feeling for them?
那他吃肉，他对这些动物难道没有一点点同情吗？
肯定不知道嘛，他心里不知道。
Just like when people stop smoking, they also feel uncomfortable. If they stop drinking, they also feel uncomfortable. But if they keep doing it gradually, it's fine.
月亮泡泡补充说，就像那些试烟试酒的人呢，他们刚开始努力的在戒烟戒酒的过程中，一开始也是很挣扎，也是很难受，有一个就是折磨的阶段。
Just the process.
就是这个，它是他们的要必经的这个过程，要经历的这个过程。
It's not the not eating meat that makes him feel uncomfortable. It's the mind is adjusting.
不是说吃素让他们不舒服，而是他们的在努力调整自己的心意。
So they just have to continue and it'll become normal.
他们只要坚持，然后就变正常了。
Like Maharaj said, no, they have to be determined.
马尔刚才说了，
Follow.
他们必须得下定决心，要留在这里，然后坚持下去，遵守这些原则。
Not because they're not eating meat. It's just mental, psychological adjustment. That's all.
只不是说跟吃不吃肉没有关系，只是他们在努力调整他们新的生活方式而已。
就是我是不知道 怎么告诉他去？你是家庭的念诵，还是慢慢就闻不到肉香了吗？还是叫他强行戒掉？不知道怎么回答你。
May I ask how can I answer her his doubt? Should I tell him to increase his chanting, or to try to force himself to stop eating meat?
Well, yes, he has to understand that so long as he's eating meat, he cannot make any progress in spiritual practice.
他要明白一点，他只要一天还在吃肉，就不能在灵性生活上取得。
You say he's chanting Hare Krishna, so tell him to keep chanting. And if he keeps chanting, either he will stop eating meat, or one day he will stop chanting Hare Krishna.
那您刚才说他现在在念诵 Hare Krishna， 那您告诉他继续念 Hare Krishna， 那么结果就是两种结果，一种是他放弃肉食，一种是他放弃念诵 Hare Krishna。
他是想念诵，就说我想问，怎么样？就说继续念诵，慢慢就不吃肉了，还是强行戒掉肉食？就说
苦鲁已经回答了，就是继续念诵。
继续念诵哈，
对，
慢慢就不吃了，因为他很痛苦，痛苦到好，
今天咕噜的课程当中就听起来好像科帕库玛尔他要去到那个塔塔星球都需要那么的遵守不容易。那我今天的问题就是关于在我们这个时代怎么去定义遵守呢？你看像我们这些现在诞生出来的，尤其是玛塔吉特别多，我们现在都知道一旦进入婚姻就是一个坑。但是呢，如果留在原生的家庭跟父母孩子在一起，或者是单独一个人生活遇到应急情况，你身边没有奉献者是很难保证在关键时刻想起奎师那。我们是不是应该果咕噜说祝福我们，然后来一个就是相当于难民的帕塔吉，然后集中在一起生活，就像我们这种集体生活更好的去保证我们的这个灵修和遵守呢？还是
So just now we heard about the situation in Tapaloka. So they are very strict in their brahmacharya life. But for us, single women, it's very difficult to live with the family, parents and children, child. Live with the family. On the other hand, we are single. If we live by ourselves all alone, there are no devotee around. So what will happen if there are some urgency happened? So Guru Maharaj, can you bless us so there will be a ashram so that all us single women devotee can live together?
Well, we're not trying to follow the four Kumaras.
我们并不是在努力的追随库马尔四兄弟的榜样。
You can see the 12 Mahajans are our authorities in devotional service. And of the 12 Mahajans, many are in family life.
我们看到这12位马哈赞的当中呢，许多都是有家庭生活的。
Lord Shiva has a family.
主 Shiva 他是有家庭。
Lord Brahma has a family.
主 Brahma 也有家人。
Prahlad Maharaj also is in family life.
Prahlad Maharaj 也有他的家庭生活。
So it's not that you have to follow the four Kumaras.
所以不是说一定对死搬库马尔四兄弟的生活照搬。
Lord Chaitanya's associates, most of them were in family life.
甚至主柴丹尼亚的大部分同游呢，他们都是居士。
But they were great devotees.
但他们却是伟大奉献者。
And it was also mentioned here that the planet below Tapaloka, Maharloka, there were great sages there who were also in Grihastha life.
而且今天的课程中提到，在塔帕洛卡下面的马哈洛卡这些伟大的圣者们，他们也都是居士。
So being in family life is not a disqualification.
所以居士生活呢，并不是一个人在居士生活当中呢，他就没有资格了。
It can be a great advantage.
相反呢，还是一个很大的优势呢。
So you have to know how to utilize. You have to know how to practice Krishna consciousness.
但是你得知道怎么利用这个优势，怎么利用这个优势去修习 Krishna 知觉。
Yes. Any questions online?
在网上有没有问题？点这个。
顶拜咕噜和所有的奉行者，请问家里人是不吃素的，为了怕把不洁的食物供奉给主，早上又因为赶时间上班，早上供奉时只供奉读了10页，请问这样做妥当吗？感恩咕噜。
Obeisance to Guru and all devotees. May I ask, Guru, my family member is not vegetarian. Because I'm afraid to offer unclean food to the Lord, and also because I'm in a hurry to go to job. So in the morning, I only offer tulsi leaves. Is that proper? Thank you.
Yes, it's okay.
可以，可以。
上面还有哦。
Patanisha asks, 请问库马尔，请问为什么高巴库马尔在他的 loga 上会减少对主的思念？减少对主的思念。
对。
Obeisance to Guru Maharaj, may I ask why Gopa Kumar will decrease his attachment to the Lord on Tapaloka? His remembrance of the Lord on Tapaloka.
Why?
Yes.
Well, because on Tapaloka their process is practicing remembrance of the Lord.
因为在 Tapaloka 上，他们的练习方法就是意念主。
They're engaging in Astanga Yoga.
他们在练的是八部瑜伽。
And as we heard, they're all in Samadhi.
我们听到呢，他们都在 Samadhi 神定当中。
So how do you get to Samadhi?
怎么进入神定？
You have to go through the preliminary stages of the Astanga Yoga.
他们必须要首先完成八部瑜伽的头几个步骤。
So the Astanga Yoga begins with the rules and regulations, the yama and niyama.
八部瑜伽呢，一开始是 yama 和 niyama。
And then it's asana and pranayama, the exercises and the breathing control.
接着是 asana 和 pranayama 体位和控制呼吸。
And then after that, then it's all different stages of meditation and concentration.
之后是冥想和专注。
Pratyahara, internalizing all the feelings.
Pratyahara 将所有的情感收摄回来。
You're not thinking of anything around you. Your only consciousness is within.
把所有的收摄感官，并把所有的注意力从外界收摄到内在。
And then dharana.
下一步是 dharana.
Totally focusing the concentration to on the soul.
把所有注意力都专注在灵魂上。
And then dhyana, meditation, remembering the form of the super soul.
下一步是 dhyana, 想着主的超灵的形象。
And then finally samadhi, where the mind is totally fixed.
最后一步是 samadhi， 心意全然的专注。
So Gopkumar will discuss about the comparison between Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. He will discuss. They'll discuss which is better. Is it easier to just concentrate on the soul, or is it better to do devotional service?
所以戈巴库马尔他们将要进行的讨论就是哪一个更为好更好，哪个途径是专注于把心意专注于操灵身上呢，还是从事于奉爱服务？
So their process is simply remembering the Lord.
他们的方法是只是一味的单一的是在意念着想着主。
Our process is serving.
我们的方法是服务，
But sometimes we're serving, we're not thinking of the Lord.
但有的时候我们机械的服务根本就没想着主。
But Gopkumar's on Tapaloka, everyone is just remembering the Lord.
可是戈巴库马尔现在置身于塔巴洛卡，每个人都在意念着想着主。
They're not doing anything.
他们就闭着眼睛就在那里
It's
坐着，
all activity is all internalized.
他们的活动都是内化的。
So in this way, Gopkumar was increasing his remembrance of the Lord.
在这种情况下，戈巴库马尔他更加思念主了。Prasanta Hare Krishna Imai Guru 奉献者，主的所有同学会犯错误，会犯错吗？我记不清是哪本书上写的。就柴丹亚的有一位同学色眯眯的看了一个女性，柴丹亚生气的把她撵出去了。这个消时光要表达的是什么意思？恳请诸位明示。Hare Krishna。So the question is that, may I ask whether the associate of Lord will make mistake? Because I remember one of the associate of Lord Chaitanya, he looked at a female devotee in very last day. Then Lord Chaitanya
Rejected.
drove her away, drove this association away. And what is the meaning of this lila? What is the meaning? What's the purpose?
Well, the purpose is to teach us that we should not be a hypocrite.
这个消时光就是的目的是告诫我们不要做一个伪善者，一个虚伪的人。
Lord Chaitanya was not against people being in family life.
主柴他那样并不反对人们，就过家庭生活。
And indeed, when one of the devotees, when he saw that one of the devotees' wife was carrying a child, Lord Chaitanya gave the name for the baby.
当他看见他的一位奉系同游的妻子就怀有身孕的时候，他立刻就给这个还未出生的孩子起了名字。
But when somebody who was in the dress of a sannyasi was associating in a wrong way with the other woman, with the woman, then Lord Chaitanya was very upset and he rejected him.
但是倘若谁要是穿着那个几色的僧袍 sannyasi 的袍子，但是不恰当的和一个异性有不恰当的联谊的话，那么主柴丹就会拒绝这个人。
So that was being a hypocrite, to put the dress of a sannyasi but to associate with the other sex.
所以这就是一个虚伪善，就是穿着这个袈裟，穿着僧袍，但是却和这异性还有染。
So that's the lesson.
这就是我们要学到的教训，吸取的教训。
Okay.
下一个问题。 是 Kelly。Hare Krishna 顶拜故人话组，请问 Vasudeva 与 Devaki 在灵性世界的关系，他们和 Krishna 是父母的关系吗？Krishna 在灵性世界跟南达还有雅诗的妈妈也是父母关系吗？So, may I ask if Krishna have the similar rasa with Vasudeva and Devaki in the spiritual world, and also are they? Does Krishna also have the relationship with Nanda and Yashoda, the same relationship in the spiritual world?
Yes.
是的。
Vasudeva and Devaki are Krishna's mother and father in Dwarka.
Vasudeva 和 Devaki 是 Krishna 在 Dwarka 的父母。
But in Vrindavan, Krishna's mother and father are Nanda and Yashoda.
但是在 Vrindavan, Krishna 的父母是 Nanda 和 Yashoda。
往下。
安妮的问题是顶拜咕噜和奉献。请问咕噜怎样把 Krishna 知觉落实到日常生活里和家人的交往中？怎么能把家庭生活的一切供奉给 Krishna？ So, obeisance to Guru, may I ask how to apply Krishna consciousness in our daily life and in the our dealing with family members? How to offer everything, every result in our family life to Lord Krishna?
Well, you can do that by chanting Hare Krishna.
您唱诵 Hare Krishna 最后就能实现这一
And
点。
serving the devotees.
还要服务奉献者们。
So those two things. You chant Hare Krishna and serve the devotees.
您唱诵 Hare Krishna 服务奉献者。下一个问题是 Harini 林麦咕噜，请问咕噜，我们在服务 Krishna 的过程中，我们吃什么食物？我们吃什么就给 Krishna 供什么，而圣地的居民是 Krishna 喜欢吃什么就给 Krishna 供什么。那我们算不算服务 Krishna 呢？感恩咕噜仁慈的回答。So in our daily life, we offer whatever we eat to Krishna. But in the holy Dham, the residents there, they offer whatever Krishna likes to Krishna. So that's our offering counted as devotional service.
We hope so.
那我们希望我们的供奉也算成是奉爱服务，这是我们的希
See,
望。
Krishna in Vrindavan may eat something, but when Krishna's everywhere, so he's also in your place in Baoji. He's also there, and he's in Hong Kong, and so he will eat whatever available in these places.
Krishna 不仅在圣地，他也在宝鸡，也在香港，所以就是当地方便能得到的食物呢，他就会吃。
And it goes in Italy, Krishna will eat spaghetti.
在意大利，他吃意大利面。
如果你去英国，英国人每天吃土豆。
在英国，英国人吃土豆，天天吃。
Okay.
下一个问题是，real me， 礼拜咕噜，请问咕噜，我们在服务 Krishna 过程中，新同学给 Krishna 供奉食物，就念5圣体祷文3遍 Krishna， 我们算不算也服务 Krishna 呢？算不算 prasad 呢？The new faculty, when they offer food, they only chant Panchatattva prayer and chant Hare Krishna mantra 3 times. Is that of offering Krishna or the accept, or is that counted as prasadam?
Yes, if you offer it with love and devotion. It's not just chanting the prayers, but it's the mood in which you chant. If you chant with love and you're calling Krishna to eat, then Krishna will accept.
是的，就是这个关键是我们是怀着奉爱在做，在供奉。如果我们怀着奉爱邀请 Krishna 来吃 ，Krishna 就会接受。
Okay.
下一个问题是顶拜咕噜，请问咕噜，为什么库马尔四兄弟最初觉悟到非人格饭的概念，而不是直接做奉爱服务呢？感恩。So obeisance Guru, may I ask why the 4 Kumars, at first they realized the Brahman. Why didn't they do direct devotional service?
Well, they were more attracted to the Brahman.
他们更被Brahman 所吸引。一开始
There are different kinds of devotees. Some devotees are in Shantaras, like the 4 Kumars.
有不同种类的奉献者，有的奉献者是处于 Santaras 中性关系，就像库马尔。
So they appreciate the opulence of the Lord, but they're not engaged in devotional service.
他们欣赏主的富裕，但是他们不做服务。
Their attraction is simply to the impersonal creature. They had not yet met the Lord. Later on, when they meet the Lord, then they're more attracted.
他们一开始呢是被主的非人格特征所吸引，而且一开始他们没有遇到主，亲自遇见主。后来当他们遇见主之后就变了。
Okay.
是不是？下一个
还有多少问题？
没有了。No more question.
No more question. Okay. 今天我们讲到这。我们感谢 Guru Mani 给我们翻译，感谢方先生参加，祝福你们万事如意，传教顺利。
百坤的知音服务员聆听，我们非常非常感谢圣 BVV Narasimha Maharaj 给我们带来精彩的早课，感谢所有奉献者的聆听和问题，祝大家有一个愉快的 Krishna 知觉的一天。Hare Krishna。
Recording stopped.